Today I fucked up by leaving my job and life behind to move in with a girl I just met online. This happened back in April of 2022. This is a cautionary tale that I think not every guy needs to hear because I am sure y'all are not this stupid, but just in case, listen up. So me and this girl, I'll call her D, because there's another D who will be known as Crazy D. I'll post about it at a later date. Maybe. So me and D met on Facebook dating. We hit it off pretty instantly. We FaceTimed. I remember her mom scaring me though. We were having a conversation and her mom comes home and I hear a lady yelling at me. It scared me. She told me that I had to come live with her daughter by Friday. I told her, can it wait till Friday when I got paid? D's mom, no, you have to come sooner. I stupidly thought, you know what, fuck it. My job is kinda not the best, so fuck it. So I left my job. I got paid $10 per hour and a upcoming job fair, all to get some in which we only fucked once. I remember when we first got there she told me to ask her to marry her. I stupidly agreed to, and good lord, why the fuck did I propose to a girl I just met? I remember trying to go and transfer over to the location up the road, and when everything was done and I was about to start, D told me, actually I don't want you to have a job because I am scared you will cheat on me, so I stupidly called up my boss and told him, sorry, I can't work here because my girlfriend doesn't want me to, and he said, so you want me to terminate you is what you are telling me, with the utmost disgust in his voice. I said, yes, and that's why no one wants to hire me in 2023. So after making the dumbest decision of my life for something I got none of, and got told I couldn't look at other women, which is impossible. The relationship was a rocky mess. She would make me stand in bathroom while she took a shit and got super jealous to where I blocked all my female friends, which were half of my friends. We broke up and got back together to break up one final time before the relationship ended a month later. Like a celebrity couple. And what was I left with? Nothing but sadness and stolen data. But hey, at least I got control of finances and can buy condoms and lube without my mom knowing. Moral of the story. Losing your job is not worth it to get some, even if she looks like Margot Robbie. Unless she is Margot Robbie, then ask her for a small loan of $1 million. Too long did not read. I left my $10 per hour job for some girl I just met on the internet, all for some pussy I didn't get. Edit. Thanks for all the roast, I really needed it. I am in a good place now. I have a girlfriend, and we have been together for over a year, with no kids, but I definitely did a ton of growing up since then. Also, I did do a ton of editing on my grammar, so in case the comments confuse you, just know Grandmarley helped. Bro, what? You absolutely deserve it for being a fool. With that being said, hopefully you learn from that experience, and don't make the mistake again. This is Junior. High level creating writing. Are you the dumbest person alive? Like, dude, WTF? Yawn. TIFU. By using Tinder in Colombia. This happened last night, and I want to share because my mind is off. I'm currently in Medellin, Colombia as my first stop before seeing the rest of the country. I was stupidly on Tinder, as I do with most countries I visit, and began swiping. I eventually matched with this beautiful girl, we'll call her Jimena cause that's her real name. We talked for a few and agreed to arrange a date, and she'll show me around town. The date went well. She showed me all the Pablo Escobar sites, and we got some really good food. We eventually went back to my hotel, and I could tell she was down. I grabbed us some drinks, she got us some weed, and we were having a nice relaxing night. We talked a lot about our childhoods and past, and were having sex in between these talks. Literally just two people opening the story of their life to each other. It was really memorable and emotional. It was now pretty late, around 4 a.m., and we just kept talking. She asked me if she could be honest, and I said, yeah, what's up? She mentioned her original intention in coming here was to use a drug on me, which I found out was scopolamine, aka devil's breath. This drug is pretty nasty. It will turn you into a submissive zombie that follows orders for 24 hours, and could easily overdose and kill you. Seriously, look it up. She wanted to use it and empty my bank accounts and rob me. But after spending all day with me, she realized I'm a genuinely good person, and decided against it. I was so taken back. My fight or flight response immediately activated and I kicked her out the room. She started crying, but I honestly didn't care by that point. I literally could have lost my life last night. I called the Colombian cops and gave them her picture and name, but they didn't do anything, which was pretty expected. It's now day 2, and I decided to move to a hostel in order to meet other tourists and stick with them so we can all keep each other safe. I deleted Tinder, and I'm just pondering the whole thing. I'm making this write-up in case anyone has plans to visit Colombia, and to also try to clear my head. Too long did not read. Used Tinder for hookup. Girl came with the intention of using scopolamine on me to rob me, but ended up liking me enough to not use it, and then I kicked her out my room after finding out. Edit 1. I just woke up, and about to head out with other tourists. I see a lot of people skeptical of my story, and it's understandable. I honestly do not care as long as at least one person is more cautious when visiting this area. It was worth it. I could not care less about your Reddit points. I just needed to tell my story, and hopefully someone doesn't have to experience this. I'm Colombian, and as a Colombian, I tell you, under no circumstances should you use Tinder here, especially not in Medellin. As a foreigner, you're an easy target. Don't let your guard down. Colombia is a beautiful country, but never do the Tinder thing again. If you come to Bogotá, message me, and I'll tell you where you shouldn't go. Doesn't matter. Had sex. What did your creative writing teacher give you on this assignment? Dude, no one believes you. Dick so good it saved your life. Weird. I literally just listened to a story about someone using a dating app to meet up with a woman in Colombia and ended up getting robbed due to scopolamine. Today I fucked up by telling a girl that I'm happy I wasn't one. Hey guys. This actually didn't happen today but about a year ago, and was reminded of this when I was reading some of the other foos on this sub. I was a medical student and we were in our OB/GYN rotation, so this happened the day after our first visit into the labor room. Well, in theory I knew what happens during childbirth, but the reality was a huge eye-opener. There was so much blood, feces and amniotic fluid that the entire floor became flooded. This was a particular case of polyhydramnios. There's too much amniotic fluid in the uterus. The next morning when we're getting ready for a lecture, my friends and I got to talking about our experience in the ward the day before, and one of my female friends remarked that it looked so painful and tiring. So this is exactly where my foo rears its ugly head. I opened up the hole that's on my face, and the golden words, "God am I glad I'm not a woman," came out. The very next second, I realized what a horrible thing I had said, and I could sense 5 different pairs of eyes staring daggers at me. Chills down my spine. All I wanted to do was curl up in a fetal position and get away from everyone. One of my friends then broke the tension by saying, "Next time you better sound it out in your head before you open up that pie hole." I am still not over it. Too long did not read. I said that I was glad I wasn't a woman the day after we had labor room postings in front of a bunch of people, including women. Edit. Hi everyone. I posted this just before hitting the hay and woke up to hundreds of comments that I never expected. This is the first time one of my posts' comments has had so much reach XD. 1. Thanks everyone, especially the ladies, for reassuring me multiple times that it wasn't a foo. As I mentioned in one of the comments, I don't think it is what I said but how I said it. Either way, I now realize that my colleagues were a bunch of snowflakes and I had nothing to worry about. 2. To everyone who told me that this kind of thinking is what would make me a good doctor, I can't express enough how happy that makes me. It may sound surprising, but it is actually an eye-opener. I didn't actually think I was being empathetic, and when I reflect on my patient interactions over the years, I can see that I actually was. So once again, thanks everyone for these words of warmth. 3. I'm sorry I can't reply individually to all the commenters, but I have definitely given all of them a read. Wait, I'm a woman. Why is this a foo? I don't think it's a fuck up. I'm a middle-aged woman and the thought of childbirth terrifies me. 41 weeks pregnant here with a large baby. I am huge and regularly get told by family, friends and acquaintances that they're glad they're not female. Me. To me, it's weird to A. Immediately worry that you said that and B. Be insulted by that kind of comment. Childbirth is a big, painful, and messy life event. I can't imagine witnessing a birth and going, "Oh yeah, I'd totally swap with her." Yes, it's rewarding having a child, but the things your body goes through for pregnancy, birth, and postpartum is not fun. Am I mad here? Why is it classed as an insult? I don't understand why anyone would be offended by that. I don't know, due to being a man, but I'm sure life as a woman is a lot more difficult than life as a man, and saying you're glad you're not a woman shows you understand this. This is not a fuck up. Anybody that was offended is overly sensitive.